Joel Embiid's approach tonight after being so dominant in the paint in the first 3 games here in the bubble, how passive he's been tonight. And I'd particularly like to hear from Draymond talking about if you're guarding a guy as big and strong as Joel Embiid, how happy he would be that Joel Embiid would settle for fadeaway jump shots.
Well, welcome to the American Express Halftime Report, apparently produced by Stan Van Gundy, who's not only doing the analysis down there in Orlando, but Stan, you put it out there, and we will get to that. We're going to hear from both Draymond Green and Charles on Embiid's approach. We're going to start this halftime report with the Jet, however, because you're looking at what Philadelphia was doing offensively in this game, in which they trail 50-48 at the break.
Oh, come on, Charles. Come on, Charles. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, man?
Oh, Chuck, that was a good try, man.
Are you kidding me, Chuck? I was looking for Draymond.
I'm getting fried during the quarantine.
I didn't know the race was coming up.
You had him just a second, Chuck.
No, not even a second. I'm talking to him the whole time. So anyway, if you look at this, Draymond, I think the one thing that's different is you guys are the masters of spacing. Philadelphia doesn't create the spacing because they don't have the shooters. Obviously, you guys have the shooters, and this is pretty much would be you up front. But here, if we when Joel, let it go now a little bit more. When Joel gets the ball inside here, so freeze it 1 second. This is a zone. It's not a man-to-man. Thibault's a decent shooter, not a great shooter. Scott is a decent shooter, not a great shooter, so he's sneaking in. So now over here, I'm not really guarding Tobias Harris because he's more of a mid-range shooter. So the spacing is off, and this doesn't allow Joel to have any access or any room to go help. I can recover, and I can get the offensive foul because there's so many people there. And again, the same thing. Once this is the pick and roll. Freeze it here. Pick and roll. Normally, guys are sprinting the other side but now the paint is so shortened. So when he gets it, now everyone's there and it makes him travel. Freeze it again. You got 5 guys in the paint. I've never seen an NBA game in the 2020 with 5 guys in the paint anymore because guys are too many shooters. Philadelphia has to figure out. Glenn Robinson III might be one of them, but they need to figure out something about their spacing, and they need some help.
Well, I'll tell you 2 things. A, I saw 5 guys in the paint this year. I hadn't seen it in 2020 either, but I saw it this year.
Yeah.
But Joel also has to do himself a favor. He's posting up almost at the 3-point line. You can't get spacing like that either. There's no one in the NBA that can stop Joel from getting the position he wants. Joel pretty much need to think about the game like this. Anytime he shoots a jump shot, he's bailing his defender out. He's giving his defender a pass every time he shoots a jump shot. And as someone who's guarding him, go ahead and go out there. I love when he shoots jump shots.
Exactly to the point that Stan Van Gundy made in the first half. He said, you say you're going to do that? Go ahead, all night long.
Absolutely. And, when he get bigger guys on him, obviously he's much faster. But there aren't many guys bigger than Joel Embiid. And I love when he gets down on the post, and that's what he had been doing the past 3 games. And, tonight he's not doing that. If they're going to win this game, he has to.
He's got 6 points, 7 rebounds on 3 of 8 shooting. Go ahead, Chuck.
Joel Embiid needs a Moses Malone. He needs something. Moses Malone made me a great player. He told me one day, I was asking when I wasn't getting to play, he said, "You fat and you lazy." There's nobody on that team who can push him.
Okay, what would you say to him?
I said, "Yo, man, do you want to be an all-star or a superstar? Those things are different."
Without question.
Listen, you are unguardable. Every time you take a jump shot, you do bail the defense out. We said, we're going to get you in shape. We're going to you. I'm in Philly, and I hear every day, can Embiid and Simmons play together? Who should we trade? I said, okay, I'm going to prove to y'all I should be the one who stays. Because at some point, they're going to break them up if they keep losing early in the playoffs. But Joel Embiid, he's an all-star. He's not a superstar. I mean, and Kenny, and you and Dre know that. There is a huge difference. There's probably another 25 guys who could have a good year and make the all-star team. Yeah. But there's guys who are perennial all-stars. Yeah. But then there are some superstars.
All-stars that, I quantify it like this, Draymond. There's 5 ways to dominate a game. Scoring, rebound, assists is the ones you see. Mm-hmm. And then defense and pace of the game.
Yes.
And a superstar controls 4 out of those 5 every night. Every night. An all-star, 2 out of those 5.
Absolutely. Well, and you're missing at least 3 of those 5 with Ben Simmons out. You know, he controls the pace. He's been their best defender all year. And so, I mean, they're missing Ben Simmons a lot right now.
Ernie, let me say this too. One thing: if I want to be a star, or superstar, or a great player, if my second best player is out, I'm gonna go nuts. I'm not gonna shoot 8 times. I'm gonna make sure they double me every time, or I'm gonna score, get them in foul trouble.
We will see what Joel Embiid shows up in the second half of this one as they trail 50-48. Here's
I was looking at Draymond. You see, my whole eyes is on Draymond. And then I saw this clown going. I'm like,
I was wrong, Chuck. You never did have the lead in that race. I'm sorry.
And I was scared. I got these slippery.
Kenny, how was Chuck so close to you, though?
I got these loafers on. I was scared.
Charles running to the big screen.